This is the Four Wheel Parts Down and Dirty Show Off-Road Edition, powered by Polaris RZR. We're taking it back to the roots, getting dirty and covering all things off-road, because pavement, well, that's for It's gloves off, in your face, on the edge, and the way off-road should be. We're your definitive source for all things dirt.
4WP is more than a store. We're truck and Jeep experts and have been for over 50 years. From wheel and tire upgrades to full custom builds, 4WP has you covered. Whether you want to order the best parts online or shop in store, do the work yourself, or get it done by a pro, all roads lead to 4WP. Do your rig right. Shop online or find your store at 4WP.com.
Welcome to the Four Wheel Parts Down and Dirty Radio Show Off-Road Edition, powered by Polaris RZR. Jim Beaver here, and got another podcast on tap. Hopefully you guys are tuning into all my shows, the national show, the Off-Road Edition, which you're tuning into right now, and also Project Action over there on Podcast One. Always cranking out some great stuff with some of the best interviews in the world of sports, motorsports, action sports, you name it. We cover it on one of the shows. But this week, very special show here on the Off-Road Edition for two reasons. One, we've got a badass guest, my good friend Rodrigo Ampudia, who just coming off a big win in the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series up there in Reno. Took home a first place, the first ever Pro-2 M engine to win in the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series here on the West Coast. So big shout out to Rodrigo. Looking forward to checking out this interview with him and seeing what he has to say about that big W he took up there in Reno. And, yeah, by the way, I was up there this past weekend. We got full coverage on the national show for those of you looking for results and stuff like that. Also got Jarrett Brooks on the show. We'll have part of this interview with Rodrigo Ampudia, and we'll be talking power rankings and a whole lot more. So you definitely don't want to miss that. But opening up today, before we get to Rodrigo Ampudia, got to ask you guys first, please go over to iTunes, hit the subscribe button on iTunes to the show. It makes a big difference, and please leave a rating or a review. It definitely helps us out. And, this is a big episode, mainly because, our title sponsor of all my shows is Polaris RZR. And Polaris, it's been a big week in the world of RZR. They just unleashed an all-new lineup of Polaris RZRs called the all-new Pro XPs. They've got three different trim levels in the class, and I got to tell you, these things are absolutely game changers. Visionary, built from the inside out. I mean, they changed everything on these units. I know we're going to be trying to get Evan with Polaris RZR on the show at some point very soon, but I mean, the all-new exterior design thing looks absolutely badass. All-new interior design, one-piece bucket seats. They've got 4-point harnesses from the factory, dynamic suspension, and, even in the cockpit, man, it's been widened 4 inches. It's added 6 feet of length for those of you with long legs. It's just a completely new game-changing vehicle. I know it comes with 30-inch tires. It's a 64-inch wide vehicle, so it's not like a replacement for the Turbo S. But I got to tell you, it's the strongest drivetrain ever. 8 times stronger axles, 39% stronger transmission, 3 times stronger front drive, and the strongest chassis a RZR has ever seen. The suspension geometry has changed to make everything even that much better. And like I said, to begin with, it's got that dynamic suspension right out of the box. These things start at $22,999, and then you can move up to $24,499, and then the Ultimate Edition is $28,499. Like I said, dynamic suspension. You even get Rockford Fosgate stereo direct from the factory. It's got Ride Command, and these things are absolutely on point. They shred. Everything that you knew about a RZR, they redesigned it, they perfected it. These things get longer belt life, 2 times belt life, and that's always been a big thing with RZRs. They changed it, 2 times the belt life on these things. They make it even easier to access. They've got this amazing fuse block, so when you put on aftermarket accessories, light bars, wire them right in. It's all set up from the get-go. Reminds me of the Ford Raptor, and they've got their upfitter switches, so when you want to add aftermarket lights, it's really easy. Boom, RZR did it, brought their A-game. I am telling you, check it out, PolarisRZR.com. They have, it's just an absolute game-changing unit. This is the RZR we have been waiting for. I mean, you've got the Pro XP and you've got the Turbo S side by side. It's like, wow, man, you want to talk about a company who has something for everybody, and I got to tell you, this Pro XP, it does not disappoint. This thing dances through the whoops like nobody's business, and it just looks mean doing it. Thing is just absolutely Sick. Seriously, check it out, PolarisRazor.com. And I can't wait to get behind the wheel of one of these things. Obviously, videos are out there on social media, all kinds of details, specs, UTV Underground, Polaris Razor. There's all kinds of rad articles, first drive stuff already starting to pop out, and and it's just really tremendous unit that the Polaris brought to this UTV war. Man, it's definitely not an understatement. So check it out, Polaris Razor Pro XP. It is definitely next level for sure. So we are going to take a short commercial break, and when we get into things, it is going to be Rodrigo Ampudia right here on the Foil Parts Down and Dirty Show Off-Road Edition, powered by Polaris Razor. You don't want to go anywhere. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on four wheels? The Polaris Razor brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris Razor because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team Razor because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris Razor because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRazor.com or follow at Polaris Razor on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story. When looking for a new wheel for your off-road vehicle, car, truck, or UTV, the choice is easy. You choose what the pros use. Rob McCachran, Keegan Kincaid, and myself, Jim Beaver, all exclusively use Vision Wheel, whether we're dominating Baja, taking the cup at Crandon, or shredding UTVs. Vision Wheel's trend-setting designs and durability will set you apart from the competition and your friends. Check out VisionWheel.com or at Vision Wheel on social media to learn more. Anywhere is possible. It's more than just a slogan. Anywhere is possible with General Tire's wide variety of tires for whatever it is that you drive. Whether you're looking for off-road capability balanced with impressive on-road performance or ultra-high performance offering all-season traction designed with a driving enthusiast in mind, General Tire has what you need to get where you're going. General Tire, providing anywhere as possible with a Down and Dirty radio show since 2012. Do you race or are you a weekend warrior? Have you checked on the date on your helmet recently? Don't get caught off guard by using an outdated helmet. Impact Racing, the leader in motorsport safety, has new SA 2015 helmets to fit your budget. Whether you're looking for a helmet with a full carbon fiber shell to take you to victory at the Indy 500 or just looking for some helmets for a weekend at Glamis, Impact Racing has a helmet for you. Find out more information at impactraceproducts.com or on Facebook at Impact Safety. Super ATV is the industry leader in aftermarket UTV and ATV parts and accessories. Super ATV products are designed, engineered, tested, and manufactured right here by Super ATV. Whether you're looking to upgrade your suspension, get stronger axles, or you're looking for a new winch to get you out of a tough spot, Super ATV has what you're looking for. And since we know you're in a hurry, we offer fast, free shipping to the lower 48 states on all orders. Visit superatv.com now and get your UTV or ATV dialed in. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. I'd like to welcome my one of my guests this week to the show, Mr. Rodrigo Ampudia, also known as Rod Amp, coming off a big win there in Reno at the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey, what's up, man? Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, no, it's been a while.
Time on the show.
Yeah, it's been a while. You're one of those, like, I could have got a bunch of times, and I was up there. I was like, man, we got to get you on the show because it was a big weekend for you guys. I mean, we got a lot to talk about, but taking a victory on the 36th anniversary of Papas and Beer and your number 36, family was there. Like, that had to have been a pretty special moment, man.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was something unbelievable. I mean, really hard to put words to it. I mean, we were really excited. My dad decided to go to the race with me instead of going down to Papas and Beer for the anniversary, and I was pretty excited about that, and just to be able to pull the win for him and that day and everything for Papas and Beer. My brothers that couldn't go to the race are down there working for everyone that works at Papas. I mean, it was unbelievable. They support us a great lot, like a whole lot. So it was exciting to say the least.
Yeah. Well, and I know, you've taken victories in short course before, but this one, I know even Lucas was saying this was a big deal for the series because you're the first guy with one of the new Pro-2 M motors to actually take a victory, man. So I think this was big for you guys, but I think for the series as a whole, as they kind of moved that direction, like that was just the whole thing was just a really big deal with you and that Pro-2 M motor.
Yeah, I mean, we took a gamble at the beginning of the season. I mean, the open motors, I think, are still like the real race trucks. I think the M motors, I mean, once everyone's on them, I guess we'll be on the same page. But I mean, I like the big power. I can't lie.
Yeah. Well, and what was what was the reason you guys made the switch? Because I know, at some point Lucas is going to, they're going to be having those engines full time in the West Coast Series. I know in the Midwest they've been running for a couple years, but like you said, it was kind of a gamble at the beginning of the year. And I know it's one of those, like, you guys do get that head start, but man, you got to be sweating it all race long, kind of looking in the rearview mirror, because at some point those boys are going to be coming up on your backside.
Yeah, I mean, we decided to take the gamble because, I mean, that's the direction Lucas Oil wants to go. So they support us, so we want to support everything that they do. And if we can start learning, I mean, it's something huge for us. And at this point, it's really about not making any mistakes. Like if I run a perfect race, I'll be able to, hopefully keep my gap all the way until the last lap. On Saturday night, unfortunately, I made several mistakes that, cost me half a second more a lap, and they caught me with 2 to go. So, it's just going to be, it's about running a perfect race and having the guys behind me also run a perfect race. Because if they get caught up with traffic or battling, it's also going to put a toll on their gap on catching me. So it's like a chess game, but we're here. We're going to race that engine package the remainder of this year and coming next year. So we're excited.
Yeah, well, and do you feel like now, like you said, you guys are one of the first teams, in the West Series to kind of go to this engine package? Do you feel like, come next year and the following year, a lot of these teams, running the bigger engines like you used to, they're going to have to make the switch, and you guys are going to have like all this data and all this, you guys are going to be dialed in on this new program where these other guys are going to be starting from ground zero.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I guess right now I already made the first investment, and we have a plan on how to be able to make the truck a little bit faster. But at the same time, this is my old truck that we converted over, so I think the next step is a new chassis, I believe, to be able to be competitive with all the other 410s back in the Midwest. But we'll see. We'll see how it is. Maybe we'll have a chance of those guys coming out here and comparing how competitive my truck is to theirs.
Yeah. Well, I got to ask you, like the whole short course thing. I mean, it's crazy because I'm 38. I've been going to Ensenada, to the off-road races for years. And so like I've grown up, seeing Papas and beer and the stickers everywhere and things like that. And I know you guys, your family has been around desert racing for a very long time. I mean, going back a few years, what was a draw for you into short course? Because I mean, obviously I know you guys have the trophy truck program still and things like that within the family, but what was your draw over kind of to the short course side of things? Because I think, like, I know for me, when it was like all of a sudden you guys are going short course racing, like to me, it was like, oh, wow, that's something new because we knew you kind of from score and desert racing and things like that. What was the kind of the draw for you guys to come to short course?
Well, I mean, we've been racing short course for 11 years now. So
yeah,
it's been a while, and I think it's the most exciting type of off-road racing there is, like in the desert, you maybe get one or two battles to be, running 110% side by side with someone else. But in short course, I mean, this is where I think it's the highest level of competition in off-road racing, for trucks, trophy truck style trucks, is Lucas Oil off-road racing. So we want to be at the top, and I think that's where sponsors get the most value. And that's where we're at right now with my program. And my brothers are racing the trophy truck and score series now. And they also bring a lot of value to their sponsors with everything that we do around the bars and around the races. So it's a whole package that we're putting together.
Yeah. Well, and how important is it for you guys? I know you and the family were pretty instrumental in bringing Lucas down south of the border to run Estero Beach. I mean, how special is that for you guys, in your program to be able to run down there, right outside of Ensenada?
It's awesome. I think it's great for everyone. I mean, the fans are super passionate down in Baja, and we get to get a drive off of that energy from them, and to be able to race in my hometown, it's amazing. I mean, Baja is like the mecca of off-road racing, right? Like, I mean, that's where all the Bajas are at. So why not have like the best type of off-road racing at the like where it's at? It's like taking it to its roots, and everyone loves it down there. And I think it's something amazing. It's my favorite race of the year, and I know a lot of other racers really like that race more than anything else.
Yeah. So, looking at things like moving forward, I know you said your brother's kind of doing the trophy truck program. You're kind of doing the short course thing, but I'm kind of looking at the Baja 1000 this year going, man, this is going to be a long one. Any chance we see Rod Amp kind of slide over and say, I can do a couple 100 miles down here in Baja?
We'll see how it plans out. I mean, I think that my brothers are very competitive by themselves in the trophy truck. I think they have a shot of winning either the Baja 400 or the 1000. And I think if you split it evenly, it may make sense. But once you're in the truck and you're in your groove, I think it's a lot more efficient to stay in the truck a little bit longer than to have me jump in for a tank of fuel, for 110 miles. It just kind of, you're barely getting in the flow of the truck when you have to get back out and someone else gets back in. So I think it's, we'll see. We'll play it by ear. We'll see what score puts out for the Baja 1000 race course and make a decision from there. But it should be exciting. I mean, when are we going to see you race the trophy truck down there?
It's been, I think the last time we raced down there was, what was it, 06 or 07? I raced the 500. It's honestly, I want to go back to the 500 this next year. It's just funny because like with my big sponsorship with General Tire and things like that, like they've kind of started focusing on the United States, but just even having that conversation with them there at Reno, I was staying, I'm like, hey man, I want to bring a trophy truck down to Baja, like I love Best in the Desert, but I'm like, I want to go back down to Baja. And they kind of looked at me and they go, we want to go back to Baja too. And I think it's one of those things, like I think like Estero Beach and having the Lucas Oil, short course race there that General Tire's really involved in, I think it's kind of them at a corporate level. They're kind of looking at Baja again and things like that. And, I'm just so tied in with them. If I go down to Baja in the past, it's just kind of been on my own dime. But I think we're going to try and bring the trophy truck down there next year and do it again. Just it's been so long. And the 500 is my all-time favorite race. Just everybody in Ensenada, the course, the layout, like everything about it. I love the 1000, but for me, like the 500, man, that race is just awesome. So maybe next year, dude.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll see you down there next year. I mean, there's also the Baja 400 this year coming up in September. You can come down, get your feet wet, give it a little try.
I know. We got to do Vegas to Reno here in a few weeks, so we'll see how things look after that. Maybe we'll slide down there to race Baja. My biggest thing is like, how the pit programs are. You gotta be on point to run in Baja. And my pit crews, man, I'm gonna have to recruit some new guys or tag team it with somebody else if I go and run down there because I just don't have the manpower to do it right. In Baja, it just you can't go down there and kind of half-ass things. You gotta bring your A game.
Well, you got to bring your A game to all the races.
No, that's the truth. But
competition is intense. I mean, this weekend was a lot of good racing. I mean, I can't wait to watch the TV shows on CBS and MAV TV. I think it's going to be we're in for a good show.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think people are going to be blown away. I know you guys doubling down, took the podium there on Saturday night also. But talking about that, I know like you've got Monster Energy as some partners. Obviously, Lucas Oil. You're talking about doing right by your sponsors. I want to ask you, how was it? I know you've gone out with like the Doonies and things like that with Monster Energy. How's that thing taking a short course truck to the dunes, man? That's got to be a blast.
Yeah, it's scary. I mean, the first time I went up a huge dune, I just flipped the throttle so I wouldn't get stuck on the lip, and I just flew like way past what I thought. I just want to get on top of the dune, not like fly all the way to the bottom of the next one, just because of the power that these cars have. I mean, that's kind of what I mentioned at the beginning of our conversation about the open motors. I mean, they're just, as powerful as a trophy truck engine, just that with, 30% less weight. So it's a beast. I mean, the cars can get going. I've ran side by side actually with when Eugenio owned my brother's truck.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just run away. Like that's how much power the Pro-2s have right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know the specifics, but I mean, Pro-2s and Pro-4s, talking about the traditional engine, not your M engine, but they're pretty identical, right?
Yeah, it's the same engine. It's exactly the same engine that the Open Pro-2s and the Pro-4s run. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So, yeah, no, I just saw the videos, and I think I've seen the video of that jump, and it was like, it was one of those you had to go off, and it was a bit of a pucker moment. Like, man, I wasn't expecting that, right?
Yeah, I mean it's huge air. I mean Bryce Menzies also went out to the dunes and broke his back just doing the exact same thing I did at the exact same dune. So it's I guess I got lucky that time because it did sting. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean I'm planning on doing some more cool stuff with Monster in the coming up pretty soon. So hopefully you guys can be tuned in and see what we come up with.
Nice. Well, before they go, it's one of those, like we were talking about Papas and beer to open things. Like I said, I've been going to Ensenada for years, man, and it's like they've become synonymous with off-road. I know, obviously, you run the colors on your truck. I mean, how has that been for the Papas and beer business to be so, because I feel like the off-road community, I mean, you go to Ensenada or you go to Rosarito, it's like, to me, it's like you got to stop there. Like everybody's got to go there at least once in their trip. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's that support factor with off-road, and the two kind of go side by side. How that's had to been really good for the Papas and beer business, for the off-road races and just for their investment, in what they've done in off-road.
Yeah, I mean, we really appreciate all the racers that come out and hang out at the bar before or after the races. I mean, we've done a couple of cool contingency programs in the past where if you run our sticker, you promote us on social media, we'll give you like 100 beers and 100 tacos, for you to celebrate that night at Papas and Beer and stuff like that. We know the teams get to the finish line, all the chase crews are tired. So we're like, hey, you know what? Drive your car to Papas, park it there, have your guys come in, have a couple of beers and tacos, and then you guys can go load up and continue your celebration at the hotel or whatever everyone's doing.
Yeah. So before we let you go, man, obviously we got a couple of weekends left for Lucas Oil. We got Glen Helen and Phoenix again. I call it Phoenix, but Chandler out there. But what's it going to take for you guys to put it back on top of the box, man, and kind of make a run at this possible points championship?
Oh man, I mean, I love the setup that we have right now. I mean, all the companies that have helped us get to this point. I mean, just the whole package with the Maxxis tires, Fox shocks, Pro Power engine, just every single component on the truck right now is working amazing, and it's just going to be about, I just have to bring it home. Like I said earlier, it's about making clean laps, and I know a couple people had some engine issues during this last race in Reno, so we'll see if they decide to put an M engine on the trucks for the last two rounds. I mean, it's going to be interesting, to see if they want to bridge the gap or if they're going to stay with what they have. I mean, it's something that every time we come to the racetrack, we're looking like, all right, someone else with an engine? Is it just us? What's our plan for the weekend?
Yeah. Well, I know, we had Kyle LeDuc up in the booth, and he was helping us call the Pro-2 race, and he looks and he goes, man, I know what Rodrigo's thinking. He's like, I don't know why all the other Pro-2s. He's like, if I was building Pro-2 right now, I'd have the M engine in there. He's like, I like that bet. He's like, I understand what Rodrigo's doing. He's like, I like that bet. He's like, I'd rather start out front and have to run a flawless race than be sitting in the back and getting ping-ponged around with all the other Pro-2s and, and bumped and banged and everything else and have to hunt them down. He's like, I think Rodrigo's got the ticket, and he's like, I bet, and this is all from Kyle LeDuc, he's like, I bet we see more wins out of that program. He's like, because he's like, I think he's like, I bet the next year everybody's going to be pulling the Pro-2 M card. He's like, because he's like, I think Rodrigo's going to get a lot of wins. So I don't know. That's coming from Kyle LeDuc, man. He's on your side. He says he thinks you got the hot ticket, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the reason why we went this direction. I mean, we got to put him with the other engine package as well at the beginning of this season, so it's not like we were, running in the back of the pack or, top 10 or whatnot.
Yeah.
Like we were running up front, but we decided to pull the trigger, and we actually bring both trucks to the races, the open motor and the M truck, in case we have any issues or if there's just a big advantage for the other trucks, we can always hop on the open engine truck. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I just gotta keep training and keep focusing on my driving skill set, and hopefully we can bring in more wins for Lucas Oil, Monster Energy, Method Wheels team.
All right. Well, I appreciate the time, Rodrigo, man. Much appreciated. We need to do a little more often. It's taken too darn long to have you on the first time, but congrats on the win, my friend, and we'll see you at the next one.
All right. Thank you. See you out there.
Oh, man, that was a hell of a ride. Go check out mymedic.com for the best first aid kits on the planet and save 15% with discount code Jim Beaver. Again, mymedic.com, discount code Jim Beaver, and save 15%. It's cheaper than a fuel.
Life is all about sound. The sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle and Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount. Man, what a show, huh? What a show. Talking Polaris Razors. We're talking with Rodrigo Ampudia, who is just an amazing off-road family. Great to hear from him. Finally have him on one of the shows. Don't forget, check out our other show, the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor, the national show coming at you this I don't know, just about every week, right? You've got this one. You got my other show, Project Action. Definitely, give us a shout, support us. It is always fun, to hear from you fans. It's at Jim Beaver 15 on social media. So please hit us up. Got to give a shout out to Polaris Razor, 4-wheel parts, General Tire, Vision Wheel, Dirtfish. You don't forget, use the coupon code JB Dirtfish. It'll get you 15% off at Dirtfish Rally School. Gibson Exhaust. They've got something for everybody. Whether you got a Raptor Razor, man, they got you locked in. Also, we got our friends at Impact Safety. Check them out. They are dialed in with the UTV and the off-road safety stuff. Mastercraft Safety as well. Just everybody that supports us. Our good friends at MyMedic, the best damn first aid kits on the planet. Use the coupon code Jim Beaver, and that'll get you 15% off over there at MyMedic as well. And speaking of UTVs, we got Pro Armor, Assault, HCR, Rigid. A bunch of these companies support my race programs, man. Give them a shout, too. Sometimes they don't get enough love on the radio shows and podcasts. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll be back next week with more Down and Dirty Show Off-Road Edition. Thanks to 4-Wheel Parts for the continued support of the show. And if you guys got guest suggestions, hit me up on the website, downanddirtyshow.com. Use the contact form. Love hearing from you, or slide into my DMs on social media at Jim Beaver 15, and love those suggestions. Anyways, once again, iTunes, hit us up, subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff, and hopefully you guys have a great week, and we'll be back next week with more of the 4-Wheel Parts Down and Dirty Show Off-Road Edition, powered by Polaris Razor.
4WP is more than a store. We're truck and Jeep experts and have been for over 50 years. From wheel and tire upgrades to full custom builds, 4WP has you covered. Whether you want to order the best parts online or shop in store, do the work yourself, or get it done by a pro, all roads lead to 4WP. Do your rig right. Shop online or find your store at 4WP.com.